Say savage, stay savage, your boy Shino Bentro was popping. So today we're back with some Naruto discussion. I know it's been a minute. Everybody probably like, man, we haven't done a Naruto discussion since like Itachi. Where the hell you been at? Like, what's going on, fam? I mean, hey, I've been all over the place. I'm here now. So if you guys are excited about today's episode, today's like goal is 500 likes. Make sure you hit that like button if you're a hidden trap ninja. If you want to become notification gang, go ahead and hit that bell. And if you want to be a hidden trap ninja, because I always get the question, how do I become a hidden trap ninja, Shino? All you gotta do is hit subscribe. Now, with that being said, today we're going to talk about the crazy, psychotic Orochimaru. Yes, the dude's fucking nuts, bro. Like, if you don't think Orochimaru's nuts, then you might be nuts. But Lord Orochimaru and the boy, the fourth Hokage Minato. Now, if you guys do not know, these two had a little bit of competition who will become the fourth Hokage. So now we're going to break it down. We're going to give you the lowdown, the up, down, the go around, and we're going to talk about what if the boy Orochimaru became the fourth Hokage instead of Minato. Let's get it.
Whipping all this dope up in the trap house. We fuck all you bitches at the trap house. I can't trust you, I can't give you real address. I can't trust you, I can't give you real address. They don't mean that be like Jerry Stacker. I might fall in love with my trap house.
Alright, so Shino, how did you find this out? How would you even know that Orochimaru was a candidate for the fourth Hokage? Bruh, I was reading this on the flight. Like, I went to New Jersey. To see my girlfriend, and basically what happened was we went to a manga shop. I picked up Itachi's story. I picked up a whole bunch of Naruto character stories. Sakura, Shikamaru, Kakashi, you know, we got both sides of the boy Itachi. We got a couple of them in there. So as I was reading this on the flight back home, I read that Fugaku was upset that Lord Orochimaru and Minato were suggested as candidates for Hokage. Even Minato did become Hokage, but this is a hypothetical. This is basically a scenario saying what if Orochimaru became Hokage instead of Minato. But the thing is, Fugaku is Itachi and Sasuke's father. This man was highly upset. He was like, yo, y'all don't recognize my talents and my fighting style. Basically, when the war was going on, the Great Ninja War was going on, ain't nobody gave me no credibility, but I did everything I could. I worked with the ninja police military force and shit like that, and I was putting in work. So all y'all just gonna acknowledge these two for being like the best of who they are. They're gonna acknowledge the signing and acknowledge the guy who was quote unquote the hero of the war. So it was one of those crazy ass moments, basically, when it was kind of like a haterade-ish kind of thing going on. So basically we're gonna talk about Minato, we're gonna talk about his achievements, and then we're gonna talk about Orochimaru, how Orochimaru is, and then what would happen if he actually became Hokage. So now we got Minato. Minato was probably one of the best in terms of speed, in terms of teleportation, in terms of mastering the Lord Tobirama's jutsu. Like, he basically took everything that Tobirama created and established, and he basically made it his own. He took it and he just went ham with it. He just like, look, you understand that you created this technique, right? You understand you created Flying Rajin, the Lightning Thunder God technique. Basically what's gonna happen is I'm gonna take your shit, I'm gonna magnify it ×5, and I'm gonna master it. Like, what? He basically just told Tobirama, he's like, look, I understand you do the best you can for the village, but look, I'm gonna just go ahead and master all these different things. We had a man that wanted to be Hokage since young, since he was introduced to Kushina. You know, he always wanted to strive for greater good. He wanted to basically protect his friends, his family, and the village. He was basically a genuine leader. Basically Naruto, obviously it's his fucking dad. I say basically a lot, but as we see Minato grow, you know, he take Kakashi, Ren, and Obito under his wing. He basically tried to teach them unity, teach them teamwork and stuff like that. You know, shit happened with that group basically when everybody got slaughtered, and well, not really slaughtered. Rin got slaughtered by Kakashi because she killed herself. My boy Obito got smashed by a rock, which, couldn't you just use chakra enhanced like fists and punch that bitch? Because in this book, I'm sorry, I'm just referencing back to this book. Itachi was like 4 or 5 years old when the Nine Tails attacked, and when the Nine Tails attacked, he put chakra inside of his fist without him even knowing, and he punched the boulder at like 4 or 5, protecting his mother and Sasuke from dying. So if he didn't know how to do that, basically his parents would have died. And the thing is, Obito, you're a lot older than Itachi, and you're no Uchiha. What the fuck is you doing? But back to like the main synopsis, or the main thing we're talking about. So we got Minato basically had this little team, this little unit. Things went kind of hectic, you know, things fell apart. The only person came back with him was Kakashi, because, you know, Ren had the Tell Beast inside of him. So I guess they considered that as a successful mission in terms of not having the Tell Beast come back and wreak havoc on the village, because they basically had a seal. So her having 3 tails inside of her, she would have came back to the village, wreak havoc on it. So in a sense, Minato was successful, but the way it happened, it was kind of fucked up, because, you know, she had to die in order for their plans not to work. And on top of him being kind of like an Uchiha, you know how basically when somebody would say Uchiha's on the battlefield, everybody would freak out, they would get scared, they'd be like, oh my god, the Uchiha out here, the most feared clan, the most feared shinobi, the people with like the best genjutsu, the best Kekkei Genkai, known as the Sharingan. So anytime Minato's name was heard on the battlefield, ninjas completely fled. Like, they were getting the fuck. They were not sticking around. They didn't want nothing to do with it. You know, he was a great sensory ninja. On top of him being one of the fastest ninja alive, the Hokage even respected him for his speed, respected his like prestigiousness. Now that right up there pretty much gives you like credibility. If we got a leader of another village that's way in a distant land that's just doing his own shit, sitting there like, damn, this is the fastest man in the world, I give respect to him. You know, the Hokage said, your father, to Naruto, he said, your father is the fastest man alive until he passed away. Now I'm the fastest man alive. You know, Naruto later on exceeds that and becomes the fastest person alive, but back then the boy Minato was the fastest. Like, to have that reputation for a ninja, bro, all you gotta do is swoop in, swoop out. Look, bro, you in the DMs like it's over. But if you think about it, Orochimaru on the other hand, Orochimaru was a legendary Sannin. You know, he was raised by Sarutobi Sensei, basically taught all of his ninjutsu, taught all his skills. This man was a prodigy. He was even respected by Danzo. Danzo even looked at him as a grave importance. Now once Danzo usually get his hands on somebody, usually that person starts to fall into darkness. Now if you read through this guidance, like I said, I'm gonna reference back to this. Danzo was trying to get his hands on Itachi, and y'all saw what happened. So basically once Danzo gets his hands on somebody, you know, they start thinking a little bit twisted, you know. And then the boy Orochimaru, he had this lust for experimental. He always wanted to find out why things did certain things. Like, he wanted to know why, you know, create things. He wanted just to experiment. That's kind of the same reason why they let Orochimaru live at the end of Naruto. They didn't want to necessarily kill him off, because at some point they might need him. He had a lot of intel. Even though he was a little weird and crooked and he did all type of crazy shit, he had a lot of intel. He had a lot of information, basically, where if he was needed, they could go to him for it. And if you guys looked at Sasuke's little arc in the anime, Sasuke went back to him. If you look at Sasuke's Gaiden, it's the same. They basically goes back to him and basically try to figure out, you know, hey, what is happening with this? Who is doing that? Let me get this information out of you. Orochimaru provides with that. But the thing is, this man Orochimaru was probably one of the craziest, most shadiest niggas I ever met in my life. Like, this man, well, I never met him, but like, watching, this man literally was trying to learn all the forbidden jutsu. This man attacked the Leaf Village. Like, that shit crazy. Maybe if he became Hokage, he wouldn't attack the village, but like, leading up to that, he attacked the village. You know, he killed the Kazekage. This man was basically taking Tobirama's forbidden jutsu, the reanimation jutsu. He even mastered it. This man like captured villages and basically put them under test subjects. He even created his own village. Like, this man went through great lengths to create all type of jutsu. This man wanted the Sharingan for himself. Like, maybe if this man would have got the Sharingan, some shit would have went down. That's probably something else I'm gonna talk about in like the near future. But overall, you know, we got Orochimaru who has like these really shady ideals. Like, this man really just didn't give a fuck about anything. He just wanted to figure out why things did what. He wanted to become a master of all jutsu. This man knew so many secret techniques. Like, if it wasn't for him, the reanimation jutsu probably wouldn't get as perfected as it did. Now, understand, Tobirama Senju did create the reanimation jutsu, but Orochimaru pushed it to its limits and he made it like progress even further. You know, Orochimaru always at his top spin, kind of like what Minato did with the Flying Raijin. So if you look at it, these people are somewhat similar. They took both of Tobirama Senju's jutsus and basically took them and excelled them and made them like some type of mastery jutsu, and basically continue to progress them and make those jutsus excel. So if you look at these two, they're a lot similar, except for Orochimaru's kind of shafty and like a little crazy. This man even went through lengths of giving people curse mark to basically have them go berserk and just go nuts and basically feed for power and just enhance their complete abilities. Like, if you look at Sasuke went with him just for power in order to defeat Itachi. Now, thinking about it, back then, you know, Sasuke wasn't really a big factor in the picture. It was more of Itachi in the picture. Basically, when Lord Orochimaru was a candidate to become Hokage. Now, what if Orochimaru actually became Hokage? What if he took his like knowledge and then became Hokage? You know, the Forbidden Scroll that Naruto tried to steal, that we talked about in the Naruto Ninja Breakdown. If that's, you guys don't know, that's a new series I just dropped. Like, if he got his hands on that scroll and he got his hands on like a whole bunch of other forbidden jutsu, like what things could he done to the village? village. Like what would he did? Like, you know, we know that he captured villages and turned them into test subjects for his experiments and basically forcing people to learn jutsu, or even using them as sacrifices, or even taking bodies and switching hosts in numerous occasions. Would he use that same ability to take over the village? Would he still have like a good heart under the village, or would he just do whatever he wants since he was the leader and it was more like personal gain? Because if you think about it, Orochimaru is one of those people that you really can't stop. Like, a lot of people say, you know, Orochimaru can be beat, Naruto could beat Orochimaru, but Orochimaru has died on several occasions. He comes back through the curse mark. Now, if you think about it, this man has been kicked, thrown, slid, smash all out of Naruto a couple of times. You know, he even came back in Kabuto, he came back in curse marks. This man came back in various forms. He even took Jugo's curse mark and extracted it and implanted it into other people and used it as a sealing technique, and basically giving everybody heaven seal or earth seal, depending on what he felt like you deserve. And you know, even Sasuke feeling his power. If it wasn't for that power, Sasuke wouldn't even be able to clash with Naruto in the beginning of part 1. So honestly, seeing Orochimaru as a Hokage would be like probably the scariest shit that I've ever witnessed in my entire life as like anime watcher, because he's just crooked. Like, he always on some shafty shit. Like what I'm supposed to do? Like, I'm a little nervous now that I think about it. The fact that he was candidate alone just kind of belittles me. It makes me feel like, yo, what will the anime I'm actually watching be like? Because this man is really like Michael Jackson, but not with the more like the creep. Like, so let me know what you guys thought about this what if video in the comment section below. Let me know if you have any recommendations for future what if videos. I thought this was pretty interesting. I more so got it because I was reading the Itachi story. This is actually part 1. There's one called Midnight, this one is called Daylight. So basically it's Itachi's story, the daylight before, you know, things get really interesting. So I'm not completely done, you know, I'm about halfway through the book. So as things go on and I learn more information about each character, I might bring out some more what if videos, maybe even just talk about the video, talk about the book as a whole, and basically give my personal opinions and personal discussions with it. So let me know if you have any what if scenarios that you would like me to discuss. And with that being said, my name is Shino Ben Trill. Stay true and stay real. Hope you guys have a blessed day, and until next time, see you guys later. Bye.